GTA Online is really expensive and some of the things in the game can cost millions of dollars, but today I have a video for those players on a budget, so I'll be sharing with you all the top 10 best cars under $500,000, so let's just jump straight into this one. So let's just start this video. Coming in at the number 10 spot, we have the Lampadati Pigali, a car I never see anyone driving around, even though it is quite speedy. The car was added all the way back in 2014 when GTA Online was in its infancy, and even back then the car was not popular, even though it's quite good. With a top speed of 121.25 miles per hour or 195.13 kilometers per hour, the car is the 10th fastest car under $500,000. Unfortunately, in terms of handling, it isn't great, and the customization is also very limited, but if you are trying to save money, you will have to make some compromises along the way. The car can be picked up from San Andreas Super Autos for a price of $400,000, meaning it's well within the budget and you have some money to spare to possibly spend on some upgrades. But overall, if you want a car that not many people own and some decent speed, this car could be the right one for you. I decided to bunch number 9 and 8 together as the cars are basically the same, but at the number 9 and 8 spot we have the Tubebuddy Massacro and Massacro race car variant. Now this car is based off the classy Aston Martin Vanquish and definitely shares some similarities. The car has been in the game since the beginning of GTA Online and is definitely what you would consider bang for your buck. With a price of only $275,000, this car is one of the cheapest on this list. Now, the race car variant has slightly better stats and performance, but does cost quite a lot more at $385,000, but to be honest, I would just go for the regular version or the normal version, as it already has good handling and a good top speed, which is 121.75 miles per hour or 195.94 kilometers per hour. Now, for some, you could see this as a downside. The car is quite generic and it's a bit plain, but in terms of stats, this car is one I would highly recommend picking up if you're tight on cash in GTA Online. Now, at the number 7 spot, we have the Grotti Turismo R, a car you can actually pick up for free if you own the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack. This car is probably up there with the best all-arounders on this list, with very good handling and excellent acceleration, along with a top speed of 121.75 miles per hour, making it just as fast as the Massacro race car. But if you don't own the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, then this car is kinda pricey with a cost of $500,000. But in fairness, you do get a good range of customization options and very good stats as just mentioned. But with all that in mind, let's move on to number 6. At the number 6 spot, we have another classy car, and that's the Pegassi Monroe, a car based off the legendary Lamborghini Miura. This car has been in the game since the beginning and still looks good to this day. It doesn't have very much customization, but in my view, it doesn't need any visual changes as it just looks stunning. Its brakes and handling aren't the best, but in terms of raw speed, it makes up for it. With a top speed of 122 miles per hour or 196.34 kilometers per hour, it is a car which once again not many people drive about, and I don't really know why, as it's unique and the performance isn't really that bad. So if you want to stand out from the crowd, then pick this vehicle up from Legendary Motorsports for a price of just shy of $500,000, meaning it's just within the $500k budget. Just like the number 8 and 9 spot, the number 5 and 4 spots are being shared by two cars which are basically the same, and that's the Benefactor Schwafter V12 Armored and the regular version of the Schwafter V12. Now, both of these cars are based off a Mercedes E-Class or the Brabus EV12, which is just the Brabus version of the standard E-Class. Now, these two cars look similar to mafia vehicles, and with a few upgrades can be made to look very menacing. Now, the armored variant is a bit more practical with armor around the body and partially around the windows, and it probably means it could be used in missions such as Headhunter, but to be quite frank, I wouldn't recommend it for that reason. But just for cruising about and driving fast, it is great at that. With good handling for such a large car and a top speed of 124.25 miles per hour, or just shy of 200 kilometers per hour for the non-armoured variant. But let's talk prices for a second. The non-armoured variant, which is the faster of the two, costs only $116,000, which is the best value for money car on this list. Then the armoured variant actually costs nearly 3 times as much, even though it's slower, at a price of $325,000, which honestly isn't as good as the normal version. So if you're going to get either one of these, then get the non-armoured version. You will save money and you will also be getting the faster car. Now we must pay our respects to some good old American muscle, and at the number 3 spot we have the Vapid Pisswasser Dominator. Now I don't actually know how to pronounce, I think it's Pisswasher or Piss Water or something like that, but this is potentially the most American car in GTA Online, as it comes with, let's be real, one of the worst decals or liveries in the entire game. Now if you are a returning player, you can pick up this vehicle for free, but if you aren't a returning player, this car will set you back just shy of $315,000, which is still not too bad. But what do you get for that sort of money? Well, you get a fast accelerating and just generally fast muscle car with a top speed of 126.5 miles per hour or 203.58 kilometers per hour. But as it's a muscle car, as we all know, the handling isn't good and you won't be able to drive in a straight line most of the time. But overall this car is pretty decent, and if you are a fan of muscle cars, then getting this Mustang inspired one may be the right move for you. We are now at the home stretch of this video, and coming in at the number 2 spot is the Progen Italy GTB Custom. Now this car is one of the nicest cars on the list and is a brilliant all-rounder with amazing customization options and great stats, including a top speed of 127 miles per hour flat. Now this car is based off an American hypercar unveiled all the way back in 2015, and similarly to the real life version, the GTB has brilliant handling and great grip. So if you are looking for something flashy and quite over the top, then this car is just for you. And here we are, finally at the number 1 spot, and the car to take the crown is the Pegassi Toros, a sporty SUV based off the very popular Lamborghini Urus, and the GTA version has similar performance, with really good handling for an SUV and great off-roading capabilities as it should. And let's not forget about the top speed, which stands at just shy of 128 miles per hour or 127.5 miles per hour to be exact. Now this car was added back in the dreadful Arena War update, but unlike Arena War, this car is really good, with good customization options and great stats. This is the best SUV for this price point, and if you are looking for the fastest car under 500 grand, then look no further than the Toros. But that's all for today's video, a bit longer than usual, but we had quite a few cars to get through. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and go watch these videos on screen right now, as they could be helpful or entertaining. And like always guys, take care everyone and have a great day.